Your Rangers and the Pittsburgh Pirates should have playoff intensity as both teams are battling for division lead. In the midst of a historic year, the Pirates are looking beyond their first winning season since 1992. They're pushing toward the postseason. The Rangers, meanwhile, are in the midst of their own battle. They continue to chase the A's in the West. It should be a great series, and it gets underway next. Now, partly cloudy skies overhead, warm and humid conditions have greeted your Rangers as they came back from the West Coast last night. Tonight, the start of a very important 6-game homestand. The first of 3 are against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And welcome along, everyone, with Tom Green, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us on this Monday night for Rangers baseball, and it is going to be an exciting week. Rangers have the work cut out for them. They have the Pirates for 3 and the A's for 3, but as Ron Washington says, play the game that's on tap that night and worry about tomorrow. So we will. Tonight we have Yu Darvish on the hill for the Rangers, their best pitcher, and Gerrit Cole, a young man who just turned 23, going for Pittsburgh.
It's a very interesting matchup, Buzz. There's no doubt about it. Darvish has been throwing the ball well at home in his last 4 starts. He's having a terrific season. He's the Rangers' ace. Rangers need to get back in the winning column. They need their ace to pitch well tonight. Gerrit Cole was the #1 pick in the draft just a couple of years ago. He's got a great arm, mid-90s fastball. He's been pitching pretty well for the Pirates. So 2 really good young pitchers in baseball squaring off tonight in a game that's very meaningful for both teams.
Well, that it is. They come in with an identical 81 and 61 records, and they both trail division leaders by a game and a half. So it'll be a good matchup tonight and for the next 3 ball games. You have Ian Kinsler back in that leadoff spot as he's going to lead the Rangers against the Bucs from Pittsburgh. Line up and first pitch coming up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by the Built Ford Tough Sales Event at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today. A warm and humid night with a breeze blowing in from center field. And Yu Darvish, welcome to the mound. And right now we are going to welcome back into our fold Emily Jones. Em, great to have you back.
Buzz, it is great to be back. Ron Washington continuing to tinker with the Rangers lineup because of some offensive struggles here and there. He put Alex Rios in the 3-hole yesterday, paid dividends in that win over the A's. Alex says he will play wherever needed.
I've hit in the third spot before. When I was with the White Sox, I was hitting in the third spot, and it's something that it feels natural to me. And you know what? It doesn't matter where you hit in the lineup. I don't think it makes too much of a difference where you hit in the lineup. So it depends on your approach, what kind of approach you take to the plate.
Alex Rios with tonight's Geico quote of the game. One other thing Alex Rios went on to say is that while everyone is talking about, where this team is at in Kelly Gavin making an appearance in our pregame hit. Buzz, I'm going to go ahead and toss it back up to you.
All right, yeah, thanks. Nice to be back, right? Yeah, okay. Ron Washington, the Rangers skipper, right on his perch along with Jackie Moore. And let's take a look at the lineup that he's going to face tonight. The Pirates, under Clint Hurdle, have Jose Tabata leading off. He's in left field. Neil Walker is second. Andrew McCutcheon plays center and bats third. Justin Morneau at first base hitting cleanup. Marlon Byrd in right field. Pedro Alvarez bats sixth and plays third. Russell Martin is the catcher. Garrett Jones the DH. And Clint Barmas is the shortstop.
And on the mound with our progressive scouting report, Yu Darvish. 12-7, a 2.91 ERA. That's the fourth best in the American League. Giving up 24 home runs, though. That's unusual. Last year he didn't give up home runs. 240 strikeouts, number one in the major leagues. An opponent's batting average, 192. That's first in the American League. Second most strikeouts in Rangers history, 240 for you, with 3, 4, 5 starts left.
Swing and a miss by Tabata, and that evens the count now at 1-1. A 92-degree evening as we get things underway. A breeze of maybe 10 to 12 miles an hour blowing in from center field. So the possibility of a jet stream exists blowing out to right center. We'll check that out as the game goes on. Next pitch to Tabata, a high fastball, and that's fouled back. It is 1-2. Clint Hurdle, nice to see him back and successful in Pittsburgh. This his third year with the Pirates, and they have improved each year. And this year trying to snap a 21-season winless streak. Slider slurves outside. It's 2-2. 1992 was the last time the Pirates had a winning season. Last time they made the postseason also. Clint Hurdle and his group trying to change that here in 2013. The 2-2 pitch got him swinging. Good breaking ball. Darvish punches out the first.
We talked about this in the pregame show. That the Pirates have never seen Darvish before. Darvish is the best strikeout pitcher in baseball. The Pirates as a team strike out among the top 5 or 6 most in baseball. So when you combine Darvish's ability to strike out hitters, the Pirates' propensity to strike out, and the fact that Darvish has one of the best sliders in baseball they've never seen before, you would think on paper it stacks up to be a good start for Darvish.
Now here's the switch hitting second baseman Neil Walker, and he takes strike one. Yeah, and probably no matter how many scouting reports they got from the likes of Justin Morneau, who has seen Yu Darvish more than anybody else on the team, still doesn't prepare you for how good that stuff is. And doesn't prepare you for that 69-mile-an-hour curveball either, dropping in. 1-1 to Walker. Walker at 258 for the year. He has 10 home runs. He has driven in 44. Bucs come in 11th in the National League in batting, 246 average. And a towering fly ball to right field. Way up there, the wind will have an effect on this as Alex Rios gets underneath it, makes the catch. And that is out number 2. Take a look at the Ranger defense tonight behind Darvish. Ducey gets the start in left field. Leonis Martinez center. You saw Alex Rios at right. Mitch Moreland at first. Kinsler and Andrews man the middle of the diamond. Adrian Beltre at third. Giovanni Soto is catching Yu Darvish. And the umpiring crew tonight, Mike Malinsky calling the balls and strikes. Jeff Kellogg at first base. He's the crew chief. Chad Fairchild at second. Paul Schreiber is over at third. No, 2 quick outs here in the first. Here is Andrew McCutchen hitting .322. Yeah, he's going to up that by a point or so as he lines that first pitch to left field for a base hit. And McCutchen regarded as one of the best young hitters in all of baseball. And you can see a quick, compact stroke and understand why he's regarded that way.
Well, he hit .327 last year with 30 home runs. He hit .384 in August this year. So he's pretty hot. And Darvish is probably lucky that's a line drive to left field instead of a line drive into the seats right down the middle of the plate. Trying to throw it away, caught the middle of the plate. McCutchen going up there, hit the first fastball he saw, hitting it pretty well into left field.
And McCutchen will run if you give him the opportunity, as Justin Morneau just recently acquired the last of the month of August by the Pirates from Minnesota. Morneau, .261 in his time with the Pirates. McCutchen at first base, 27 stolen bases in 36 attempts. And a rip and a miss by Morneau. It's 1-1.
Well, it was about last week Morneau hit a hanging slider into the upper deck here against Yu Darvish when he was playing for the Twins.
Let's hope he doesn't
Stay away from that pitch.
Yeah, that's not a good pitch to throw. That's one of the pitches you can rule out that Darvish would want to feature. 1-1. Now 2-1. And that ball darts off the plate inside. Well, the Pirates have lost 4 straight. They were swept over the weekend by the team they're now pursuing, and that's St. Louis. They had a lead going into Busch Stadium and came away a game and a half behind. Now Darvish checking on McCutchen at first. He has a pretty good lead. And the pitch low and inside. Soto, a nice job of blocking that one. But the count has gone 3-1 now to Morneau. There's the National League Central. Both Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in just about a tie at percentage points. Have the Pirates ahead of Cincinnati.
Those are top 2 records, the exact same records that Oakland and the Rangers have.
Yep. Oakland off today, so the Rangers have an opportunity to pick up a half game on the idle A's. And Darvish wanting Giovanni Soto to recycle the signs. 3-1, McCutchen at first after the 2-out single. Darvish, a long look. Now he backs off. Now he has the sign he wants. McCutchen staying put, the 3-1. Hit hard. Roland diving to his right, snares it, and steps on first for the out. Nice play. Good reactions by Mitch Moreland. Side retired, no runs, a hit, 1 left. We finish a half inning. Pirates nothing, Rangers coming up. Rangers, delivered by DeMontron RB. Ian Kinsler back in the leadoff spot. Elvis Andrus follows. Then it's Alex Rios, the third baseman and cleanup man, Adrian Beltre. A.J. Przinsky is DHing tonight. Mitch Moreland hits sixth, plays first base. Giovanni Soto is the catcher. Jim Adducey hits eighth and plays left field. And Leonis Martin is batting ninth, playing center.
And we'll look at our scouting report brought by Auto Nation on Gerrit Cole. 6-7, good ERA, 374. Mentioned he was the #1 pick in the draft 2 years ago. 2 or fewer walks in 14 of his 15 starts. That's pretty impressive for a young kid making his debut this year in the big leagues. Great arm. Out of UCLA. Great college pitcher on a staff that was a tremendous staff. He was the ace.
Cole, who just turned 23 yesterday. About ready to make the start here against the Rangers. He goes 6 feet 4 inches tall and 240 pounds. And Ian Kinsler steps in, and the first pitch is lifted to right field. Marlon Byrd, sliding to his left, gets under it, makes the grab, and on one pitch, Ian Kinsler goes down as the first out for the Rangers tonight. Now Elvis Andrus will come up. Elvis steps in at 268 with the average. 2 home runs, 53 driven in, and he has just been on fire. He and Alex Rios, the 2 hottest hitters on that just completed road trip. And boy, Elvis, 6 for 13 on the road. Takes a fastball from Cole, in for strike 1. Elvis 4 RBI in the 4 games in which he played. And the pitch outside. A ball and a strike. See the last 3 ball games. Elvis with that 4-game hitting streak also, and 1-2 now the count. Rangers went 2-4 on the trip to Oakland and to Anaheim. Lost their lead in the West, but have a chance to pick up at least a half a game, or at least pick up a half game tonight. Call, strike 3. Cole, 98 miles an hour at the knees on the outside corner. And Elvis caught looking.
We've said he's got a great arm. That's why he's the #1 pick in the draft. You're not the #1 pick in the draft if you're throwing 91 miles an hour. He's got a good slider to go along with it. And I think as impressive as anything is his command. He's only walked 19 batters in 91 innings. Generally, you would think 23 years old, 1 year removed from the draft, 2 years removed from the draft, 97 mile an hour fastball, that he might have a little tendency to be wild, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Alex Rios now up there with the bases empty and 2 gone here in the first. The slider is off the plate outside. Rios had 3 home runs in the 6-game road trip. And he is 9 for 21 on that trip. That's a 4.29 average. And a little looper out of the center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Now, Rios continues to swing a hot bat. He is on with good speed, and 2 outs here in the first inning. Adrian Beltre coming up.
The other thing Cole has, he's got pretty good movement on his fastball, too. It's not a 96 mile an hour straight fastball. That ball came in pretty well on Alex's fist, but he was able to muscle it into center field.
And, you know, the funny thing, Tom, looking at Cole's numbers in the minor leagues, not a big strikeout guy in the minor league level. Right at or a little bit less than 1 per inning, which with his stuff you would think that, yeah, maybe it didn't play quite as good as it looks. But I think that's going to probably pick up for him once he figures out how to use the different combinations of pitches.
Yeah, his fastball looks a little bit like Tanner Shepard's fastball. You know, 95 to 97 miles an hour with pretty good movement on it. Tanner got a big strikeout yesterday, but really not a strikeout pitcher either.
That Beltre, a line drive to left. Coming on is Tabata. He's there to make the grab, and that'll do it. Rangers, like the Pirates, get a hit in the first and strand a runner. We finished one. Pirates and Rangers scoreless in Arlington. Notch, Jim.
I appreciate it, Buzz. Ranger fans looking for a Rangers win tonight. You bet. All pumped up, ready to go. Community Corner this evening, talking about last Monday's Labor Day race. The annual Texas Rangers Labor Day race attracted 1,700 runners here at the ballpark in Arlington. Great proceeds were raised, $20,000 for the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. To find out more about the Labor Day race for the Rangers, log on to texasrangers.com/race. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you. Marlon Byrd starting things off for the Pirates here in the second inning, and he takes a strike. Byrd acquired, along with John Buck, the catcher from the New York Mets, by the Pirates. He's come on and hit the ball very well in the early returns for Pittsburgh. Marlon, overall, 22 home runs, 79 driven in, a .288 average. And you see that slugging percentage. Good for fourth in the National League.
Yeah, based on the last couple of years, you wouldn't have expected this kind of season out of Marlon Byrd.
Beltre to the backhand. Throw a little bit high, but pulled down by Morgan. Well, Byrd grounds out. One away for Pedro Alvarez.
And Byrd in the top 10 in home runs, top 10 in RBIs, top 10 in slugging percentage. Good look at Adrian. Backhanding that, for him, easy ground ball. Gets a good grip on it. Fires it over to first.
Still can't throw overhand.
He's got that one down pretty solid.
That's the darndest thing. And he throws the thing straight from that angle, too. Not many folks could do that. Here's Alvarez, the leading home run man in the National League with 32. And he takes that breaking ball that dips in for strike one. Alvarez leads in home runs. He's also right at the top in strikeouts. And the two are not mutually exclusive for him or for a lot of sluggers. And it's a little bit low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 171 strikeouts for Alvarez.
Yeah, he's a guy with 32 home runs, but his slugging percentage is below 500. He only has 18 doubles.
Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
On base percentage is only .294, so he's kind of an Adam Dunn kind of guy, I guess you would say.
Yeah, all or nothing.
Without the walks.
Yeah. Saw the figure about the interleague play, 15 interleague games, and he has hit .358. Backdoor breaking ball. Evens the count now from Darvish. It's 2-2.
dropped it in on the outside corner.
Darvish okays the sign from Soto, the 2-2. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball, and Darvish with his second strikeout. 2 away for Russell Martin.
Well, that's what's going to make it hard if he has good stuff tonight for the Pirate hitters. They've never seen him before, and if you're a left-hand hitter, or a right-hand hitter for that matter, and you see this, you're not hitting it. You're probably going to swing at it. Your best chance is not to swing at it, hope it's called a ball, because when he throws it breaking sharply like that in that location, you're just not going to make contact with it. And very tough to lay off it. That's why he's got 242 strikeouts.
First pitch to Martin, and he swings and pops it foul right back toward us. That is going to be bouncing around the club level. Oh, nice play right here in front of us.
That's as close as one's come to us this year.
Yeah, front row seat for that one. Hi there. Yeah, right down here is where it happened. Darvish ready for the 0-1 pitch. And here comes another one.
That one's over our head. Not many go up there either.
I think Russell Martin has us zeroed in. He's got the right line. He's getting at the range.
Getting some pretty good distance with those foul balls.
Yeah, Giovanni Soto telling Yu Darvish, okay, take it easy, just calm down a little bit. We'll get it done. Because how about this whole handful of signals right here? The 0-2 pitch. Ball strike 3. Oh, he throws him like a DQ blizzard. Fastball right on the outside corner. It's a 1-2-3 inning with 2 punch-outs. We finished 1.5, no score in Arlington.
Scores, we head to the bottom of the second. It is time for our AT&T Twitter poll question. We're going to have a little fun with this one tonight, and we'll give you the choices. If you had a chance, where would you like to spend the game? In the booth with Steve Busby and Tom Grieve, the in-game entertainment with Chuck Morgan, roaming the stadium with Jim Knox, or right here in the dugout with me? You can use the hashtag FS Steve and Tom, FS Chuck, FS Jim, or FS Emily. We'll have the results later on in the broadcast. And I have a prediction that Knoxy, no offense to any of us, is going to win this in a landslide. What do you guys think?
I think that's a real good assumption right there.
Yeah, I really do. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Once. It's happened once. But I have a feeling number two.
It depends the age of the voters.
Great point,
I
Tom.
think the older you are, the less you want to roam the stadium.
That's a good point.
You might just like to sit somewhere comfortably and watch the game.
If you want AC, you're going to be with you guys. If you want to be in a kiln with me, roasting, you can also do that.
You got a pretty good spot because that's right near the dugout. They're right next to the players. That's a pretty good spot.
It is. It is. Alex Rios watched me firsthand spill an entire cup of ice cream on my iPhone to welcome me back to the booth today.
Well, A.J. Brzezinski hitting a little weak one-hopper out to Pedro Alvarez, who's pulled over into the shortstop hole, and A.J. is retired. That is out number 1. Now Mitch Moreland coming up against Gerrit Cole. Mitch has seen his average drop a bit, down to 241 now. Road trip didn't treat him very kindly. Did have a home run and a double, but just 2 for 13, the overall results from that 6-game trip. And the pitch just outside for ball 1. Season numbers, career highs in both the home run and RBI columns for Mitch Moreland. And he's ahead in the count now, 2-0. Well, Gerrit Cole, the Southern California native. He's from Newport Beach, California. And Moreland drives one to center field. McCutcheon going back. He puts the brakes on right in front of the warning track and makes the catch. Well, Moreland must not have gotten that all on the best part of the bat. A pretty good trajectory. It just didn't carry, and it's out number 2.
Yeah, so far it looks like Cole's got that ability. Maybe not to miss bats, but to miss the sweet part of the bat. Get the ball off the handle. Rios, Beltre, Brzezinski, Mitch, all have hit the ball off the handle toward the handle anyway.
Giovanni Soto next, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Soto, a .229 hitter, as you can see, with 7 home runs. And Cole with that sharp slider just off the outside corner. Well, it's a sharp slider. It's a hard slider, too, at upper 80s. Go along with the mid to upper 90s fastball. Good tailing fastball. It is 1-2. Let's go to Jim Knox. He has something he wants to get in his defense.
Yeah, Buzz, I think I would go with Chuck Morgan if I had a vote in this. I mean, he's in an air-conditioned booth. He gets to announce the game a little bit, who's coming to the plate, gets to mess with the Jumbotron. Not to mention, also get to say Soto got a hit right here. But the fans here are not that bad out here. You get to check out the fans here on the front row or close to it, but they don't usually let me in this area. I'm usually out in the outfield.
Jim, I think you prompted those people to start chanting your name.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
He did. He's paying him
No,
off
not
now.
at all. Oh! Yeah.
Got
Okay, I got your message. Fan of the game later on. Hold up your sign real quick.
So what?
See, he's making promises for votes.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Grandmother's here to watch you, right? All right. You see that. See, this is live TV. This is what you get him, right? It's moving around in these stands right here. Where's Grandma?
Right here.
Came here to see you?
She came to see me and you.
Okay. All the way from Japan,
All
right?
the way from Japan. They just came today.
Hang out. We'll get you a fan of the game. Maybe a little on. I don't know. We still got to scan. All right. Buzz, sorry about that.
That's okay. I don't want to get in the way of your conversations. I thought maybe we were going to start taking bribes down there for fan of the game.
Exactly.
Jim Adducci at the plate. Giovanni Soto, that 2-out single, aboard at first now. The 1-1 pitch coming. Gets away from Russell Martin, so down to second goes Soto. He takes a turn, and he's going to hang on there. Adducci swinging at a pitch that almost came in and hit him in the knee. Slider really darting off the plate, and so much so that Russell Martin couldn't handle it. That'll be a wild pitch charged to Gerrit Cole. Counts a ball and 2 strikes, but Giovanni Soto now in scoring position here in the second inning with 2 outs. Scoreless ball game. Rangers with 2 hits and the Pirates with 1. Check swing. He went around, according to home plate umpire Mike Malinsky, and the toss down to first to complete the out. And that'll do it as Cole works around the 2-out single. A runner left for the Rangers. We're going to the third, scoreless in Arlington on Fox Sports Southwest. Contribution to baseball with Hispanic Heritage Family Day. So the Rangers host the A's on September the 15th. Bring your family out and arrive early for a special on-field ceremony before the 2:05 game. For tickets, visit TexasRangers.com or you can call 972-RANGERS. Vic Sosa saying, yep, support them out here.
Man, this is our day.
We're getting peppered back here.
All year long we haven't had 3 hit like that.
Gerrit Jones taking some pointers from Russell Martin, apparently. Fouls back that first pitch. Gerrit Jones handling the DH chores tonight. Like most National League teams, not really set up with a specific guy that handles the DH. Big swing and a miss on that 65-mile-an-hour lollipop drop.
Tough to wait on that one. Looked like he was waiting on it. Didn't turn out that way, though.
The 0-2 pitch. Yeah, that's fouled away to the left. Well, Gerrit Jones has had more experience this year than any of the other Pirates handling the DH role. He's had 11 career games as the designated hitter. He's gone 13 for 43. That's that 302 mark. Darvish, a long look in. And now Jones sent out. I'm tired of waiting on that. 0-2. Darvish comes set. Hit to center, hit pretty well, but backpedaling a couple of steps well as Martin. Puts it away, and Jones is out number 1. The number 9 man, Clint Barnes, will come up. Barnes, the shortstop for the Bucs, probably has more experience against Yu Darvish than most. I think he has more at-bats than Justin Morneau, as a matter of fact. Barnes got to face him several times with Houston. Pitch high and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Darvish back to the plate. And he hits the inside corner. Varmus in his second year with the Pirates. Played 144 games with them last year. And he skies one to left field. Adducey back a few steps to his left. Makes the grab as it comes out of the big cloud that's overhead. There are two gone. Back to the top of the order for Jose Tabata. Darvish pretty economical tonight. Only 32 pitches to get the first 8 outs.
Yeah, after his first 13 or 14 pitches, strikes and balls were about even, but he's thrown a lot of strikes since then. 22 now and against 10 balls.
Tabata started the game tonight by striking out. He's one of 3 that Darvish has punched out this evening, and the first breaking ball hangs inside for ball 1. Darvish ready for the 1-0 pitch. Fires a strike. 1-1. Tabata this year against American League opposition has swung the bat very well. He's hitting .316 in the 7 games that he has played against the junior circuit. Hits this one well to center field. Going back and stopping now is Leonis Martin. He puts it away, and that will do it. The 3-5 balls in the inning. Pirates gone in order. After 2.5, Rangers nothing, Pirates nothing. On Fox. Event at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box. Go big with Jack's really big chicken combos. Well, a few clouds darkening, skirting overhead. No threat of rain, maybe a few sprinkles. And some of these clouds get directly overhead, but a very warm and humid night. Temperature now down to right about 90. And Gerrit Cole back to the hill for his 3rd inning of work. He's allowed 2 hits. No damage done as far as runs for the Rangers. He struck out 2. And he'll face the number 9 man, Leonis Martin, to start off the Ranger 3rd inning. And the pitch is a fastball that catches the inside corner. 0-1. Leonis moved down to the number 9 slot by Ron Washington, has responded very nicely. Last couple of ball games, he has had 4 hits. He went 2 for 3 yesterday. Scored 2 runs in that Ranger 4-3 win. He's gone on strikes here, however, as Cole worked him over pretty good.
Yeah, he pounded him in with a couple of fastballs and got him with a breaking ball. One thing the Rangers might consider in this series. They've got a number of guys that like to bunt. Pedro Alvarez has made 27 errors playing third base this year. Might be a little vulnerable to that type of strategy.
So the strikeout, the third of the night for Cole, back to the top of the order with one out. And Ian Kinsler, who swung at the first pitch he saw and skied to right field. Makes that fastball sinking down and away for strike one. Ian hit 272 as he faces Cole, and he gets jammed with that fastball. Boy, that thing's got a lot of late movement. And you mentioned, Tom, the likeness to Tanner Shepard's, the same kind of fastball. Shepard's this year, you and I have talked about it, really finding his niche by being able to run that fastball in on right-handers. It looks like Cole has that same ability. 1-2, the count to Ian.
Yeah, the thing that's obviously his arm is very impressive, the velocity, the movement. And as we've already talked about, the other thing that's very impressive is the command that he has with his pitches. He throws a lot of strikes.
A hard slider, and Ian Kinsler down on strikes. Back-to-back punch outs. 4 in the game now for Cole. And with 2 outs, Elvis Andrus will come up.
That breaking ball looked more like a curveball. Earlier, the slider was like 87 miles an hour. It looked like he was taking a little bit off that breaking ball. It's breaking a little bit more with a downward motion. He struck out the last 3 batters now. You're talking about also the Pirate hitters, for the most part, haven't seen much of Yu Darvish. Well, the same is true with the Ranger hitters in this kid.
That's
right.
right.
I've seen him before. His stuff's pretty impressive as well.
Elvis called out on strikes, his first trip to the plate. Chopper to third. Alvarez goes up the ladder, sets, throws, and gets it. With 2 strikeouts and a chopper to third. Rangers gone in order. We finished 3 in Arlington. The Rangers nothing, the Pirates nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. NFL Legends. You get everything you love on Sunday, every day of the week. Fox Football Daily. Weeknights at 5 p.m. on America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1. Well, Neil Walker, the Pirates' second baseman, starting things off here in the 4th. Scoreless ball game. Rangers with 2 hits, and the Pirates with 1. Yu Darvish dropping in that hook to start off. Neil Walker this time. Walker skied out to right field back in the 1st. Only hit, only base runner by the number 3 man, Andrew McCutchen, in the 1st inning. Rolled over on a fastball tailing away, and Kinsler handles the second out. Walker is retired by his counterpart, and now here comes Andrew McCutchen. And let's go to Jim Knox very quickly. Jim?
All right, thank you, Buzz. Back by popular demand is Paige Ferragut. She is the Vice President of Ticket Sales for the Texas Rangers, all about pay the day. This is good news for Ranger fans.
Yes, it's actually great. Tonight you can get $9 upper reserve tickets, and then tomorrow night $10 tickets, and then September 11th you can get $11 tickets. They're in the upper reserve, and that's an $8 to $10 savings.
All right, how do they do it, Paige? What do they need to do?
They can come to our box office or call 972-RANGERS or TexasRangers.com.
There we go. Pay the day. All right, that's tomorrow and the next night.
That is right.
All right, appreciate it. Good to see you, Paige. Thank you very much, Buzz.
All right, Jim, thank you. 1-0 the count to Andrew McCutchen, who last time up had a solid line drive base hit to left field. And he goes the other way to right. That sends Alex Rios back a few steps, but he camps under it. Puts it away for out number 2.
They got a fastball the first time up on the first pitch for a base hit. Curveball this time, first pitch for an out. So he's seen 2 pitches.
And 9 straight now sent down by Yu Darvish. Next, he'll deal with Justin Morneau. Morneau hitting on a 3-1 count his first time up with McCutchen at first. Hit a sharp ground ball wide of the bag at first that Mitch Moreland had to dive for it. Came up with it, made an easy play after he got up to his feet. Just stepped on the bag and that was it. But well, what a play by Moreland to react quickly enough. The ball was scalded down there at first. Darvish ready for the 1-0 pitch to Morneau. A late swing. Darvish tough enough when he has maybe 2 of his pitches working. Well, he's got 3 or 4 like he does tonight. You see some swings, some pretty good hitters that look like they have no clue what they're swinging at. A sharp breaking ball. It's 1-2. Morneau back in. Darvish with 3 strikeouts in the early going here. The right-hander is ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Now 2-2. Mentioned Morneau came over the last day of August in a trade that sent Alex Presley over to the Twins. Swing it. Soto has to retrieve the ball and throw around Morneau, who's running down the line, and that'll do it. So 10 straight now, sent down by Darvish. He has 4 strikeouts, and we have finished 3.5. Still scoreless in Arlington. the experience. Well, a nice Monday night crowd on hand here tonight. Breeze cooling things off a bit as the temperature now getting down below the 90-degree mark. Rangers and Pirates, a very good pitching matchup tonight. It's living up to the promise that it held before the game. Gerrit Cole to work, and Alex Rios starting off the Ranger fourth takes a strike. 0-1. Rios singled his first time to the plate. Slider veers wide of the strike zone. 1-1.
Yeah, both pitchers have used very few pitches. Cole's only thrown 36 pitches. 26 of them have been strikes.
He missed a little bit low with that one. It's 2-1.
Got a couple of birthdays to mention today. Tom Guy from Plano is 90 years old today. Von Seal Taylor Estes from North Richland Hills was 92 years old yesterday.
Down the right side. Wendy's presents, now that's better. We show you Alex Rios. The last 6 games, about a 4.29 average with a 14.52 on base plus slugging. First 20 games for the Rangers, 263 with a 673 on base plus slugging. That is better. Wendy's will tell you that all day long. Grounds this one sharply to short. And right there is Barmas up with it and throws out Rios. One gone.
Last couple for today, Chloe Whitsing from Garland was 93 years old yesterday. She also celebrated, along with her husband, the 72nd wedding anniversary recently. Glad you're such a great Ranger fan. And Jack and Joyce Heaton from Irving celebrating their 63rd wedding anniversary today. Happy anniversaries and happy birthdays, everybody.
Well, here's Adrian Beltre for his second turn against Gerrit Cole. Alvarez knocks it down, throws, and just does get Adrian, maybe by a half a step. That ball hit like a rocket, but Alvarez able to handle it after he took the steam off of it.
Well, Alvarez has made 27 errors, but one thing it looks like, these guys a pretty strong arm. Couldn't come up with it cleanly, but his arm makes up for it. Saw that on the throw that he made on the high chopper that Elvis hit to him, too.
Well, a couple of ground balls here in the fourth inning and 2 outs. A.J. Brzezinski takes a fastball that's outside for ball 1. Pirates put on a pretty good shift against Brzezinski, although they still have the typical 2 infielders on either side. And A.J. beats it by lashing one into right center field. Brzezinski a turn, he's going for 2. The throw, the tag, he's out. A.J. with 2 outs taking a chance, and a nice play out there in the Pirate outfield. We get Brzezinski at second base. Side retired, no runs a hit, nobody left. We have finished 4 in Arlington. And Brzezinski and the Rangers locked in a scoreless duel. Joining us now that we're back home on Fox Sports Southwest, Mark McLemore. Mac, glad to see you. It seems like it's been forever since we got together up here, the three of us.
3-4 weeks now, something like that.
Seems like it.
Well, you guys
Seems
had
like
you guys had a nice road trip. I mean, the team didn't play very well, but you guys had some nice weather.
We did that, yeah. Although, it was a little bit hot down in Southern California. Muggy and hot. That's unusual, but that's the way it was. First pitch of the inning, and that hits Marlon Byrd on the left arm, a breaking ball that just hung inside. So that snaps a streak of 10 straight retired by Darvish and puts the Pirates' leadoff man aboard here in the 5th inning.
If you're going to take one for the team, that's the one to take. 77 miles an hour right in the shoulder.
That didn't even make a sound coming off that armor.
No.
Just kind of. Well, Marlon aboard, and now Pedro Alvarez, who went down swinging his first time up. Alvarez, a .231 hitter. Those 32 home runs, he's driven in 87, so he's done some damage. Darvish, a check of Byrd. And the breaking ball catches the outside corner just about belt high. It's kind of a tough matchup for both these ball clubs, facing guys they haven't seen, that have both Darvish and Cole have great stuff. And it's two teams that train in different parts of the country too, so you don't even have a shot at seeing them in spring training. This could turn into two as it goes 3-6-3 on the double play. And thank you very much, Yu Darvish.
Well, good job by Mitch. Mitch has a strong arm, and being left-handed makes it a lot more comfortable to throw this ball to second base. Right near the bags, doesn't have to worry about the pitcher covering. 2 quick outs after the hit batter.
So for the Rangers, that is the 123rd double play they have turned this year. And the first pitch now to Russell Martin with the bases empty is low for ball 1. And like I was saying, the Pirates train in Florida, the Rangers train in Arizona. So no chance for either team to even have a clue what the guys look like.
No, it makes it very difficult for both clubs. And you can look at films and tapes, and that's, I'm sure, what both teams have done. But it's totally different when you get into that box. You can have an idea, hey, this guy throws a fastball, 90, 92, a curveball, a slider, changeup. But until you actually get in there and see it, it's very, very different once you step in that box. So, about the 3rd time through the order, you may start feeling a little bit more comfortable, but until then, the pitcher definitely has a huge advantage.
Yeah, and one guy's 92 and another guy's 92 may be worlds apart, aren't they? As according to how you react to them as a hitter.
It definitely. The reason being, you can have a guy that really hides the ball. So his 92 may look like 95 just because he's hiding the ball a little bit better than the other guy. So release point has a lot to do with it. You've got some pitchers, and especially a lot of the Japanese pitchers, when they come over here, they have that pause in their windup, and that throws a lot of guys off because you're not used to seeing that. I mean, no one else does that. So coming up in the minor leagues and playing in the big leagues and not having seen that can mess you up a little bit. So there are a lot of variables involved.
3-1 pitch, and Darvish able to get the breaking ball over. It's 3-2.
And, especially with a guy like Darvish, who has about 3 or 4 different speeds on his breaking ball, he really doesn't make it easy.
That one close to the inside corner. Now the count has gone all the way full. Darvish ready. The payoff pitch is on the way. Just getting a piece of it. Russell Martin stays alive. And it's still 3-2. If Martin extends the inning, Gerrit Jones, the designated hitter, is getting ready in that on-deck circle. Soto flashing the signs out. Darvish ready. Another 3-2. Just outside. Boy, I don't know how in the world Martin checked his swing on that. But he did, and it's a 2-out walk.
Also didn't look very happy with Darvish. I guess getting a 3-2 slider or something there. He wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, catchers, they take a couple extra foul tips, they get all grumpy. That's okay. He'll get over it. So Martin at first with 2 outs. Garrett Jones lined to center field. His first time up there, that was in the 3rd. That walk to Martin, by the way, the first free pass issued by Yu Darvish tonight. And he jammed him, roller slowly out to the infield. That'll do it. Well, the Walker left stranded. We are halfway through the ball game. It's the Rangers nothing and the Pirates nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. I'd like to remind you about our pitching matchup here tomorrow night. Again, a 7 o'clock start on Fox Sports Southwest. It'll be a battle of left-handers. You got Francisco Liriano having a great year for the Pirates at 15-7, and Martin Perez having a great year for the Rangers, 9-3 for the young left-hander. So tomorrow night, middle game of this 3-game series right here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Just in case the sun breaks out.
New look on the girls. I like that.
Yeah, the glare of the lights.
New form of eyeliner, huh?
Now, Mitch Moreland will start things off. It'll be Moreland, Soto, and Adduci to face Gerrit Cole. Moreland skied to center field his first time to the plate. Rangers with 3 hits. The Pirates with just 1 hit. Gerrit Cole with 4 strikeouts tonight. He has not walked a Ranger hitter. And he fires a strike on the inside corner. Talking about Mitch in the last road trip, even further back than that, 10 games back. Mitch still below 200 with the average. Rip and a miss as Cole pulled the string. It's 0-2. Well, this may be one of those games, Mac, it comes down to a mistake that somebody capitalizes on.
That's what it's starting to look like. Both pitchers are being very, very tough. And it doesn't look like either team is able to pick anything up offensively. Gerrit Cole is, that sneaky type of pitcher. Got a slow wind up, and then all of a sudden, as he delivers, he kind of speeds up, and you don't know if it's a fastball or off-speed pitch that's coming.
Yeah, the Rangers are going to face good pitching in this series. You already can see how good of a young pitcher Cole is. But the other two guys they're going to face are pretty tough too. Showed Liriano. Liriano's got an ERA under 3, more than a strikeout per inning, 225 opponents batting average, won 15 games. A.J. Burnett, opponents are hitting 235 against him. He's got a losing record, but look at his line, 176 strikeouts and 163 innings. Hard to see how.
And Moreland trying to check his swing, couldn't do it on the ball in the dirt. And Russell Martin completes the play down at first. Strikeout number 5, one away here in the 5th inning, and Giovanni Soto coming up. Time for a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. Giovanni Soto single to right. His first time up there. He takes strike 1. Well, Giovanni on a pretty good tear here now, up to 234 with the average. In the air to right field, it's slicing into the corner, and it just goes foul. Over there to take a look at it, Marlon Byrd, but he ran out of room, and the ball bounding out of play.
You know, it's amazing to me the job that Soto's doing, you know, playing once, maybe twice a week. And it seems as though every game he comes in and gets a hit, 2 hits, and they're not just, you know, nothing hits. They're usually key hits to start a rally or to keep one going or something. So it's just amazing that he can keep his timing with just playing once a week.
Now he has gone on strikes here, and that is punch out number 6 for Gerrit Cole. Now that strikeout notwithstanding, you can excuse that here tonight. You're right, Matt. Giovanni Soto has really contributed offensively. In that last month, he's gone crazy. Going to strike out here and take a look at the National League ERA leaders as a team. Pittsburgh in 3rd, and behind Atlanta and Los Angeles. So they've got some guys that can put up some zeros. Jim Adduci, a strikeout. Back in the 2nd inning. Tough breaking ball that Adduci couldn't make contact with. He is down in the count now, 0-2. Cole not wasting any time. And he gets Adduci on strikes. Well, the tag will be applied to that. 3 strikeouts in the inning. As Adduci is looks like he's in a little bit of pain in that right elbow. And we'll find out what happened to him when we come back. Mac, thanks for joining us. We will see you after the ball game. All right. You buy the all-new Mazda 6. When you change everything, you change everything. scoreless ball game as we head to the 6th inning. Both Darvish and Cole right on top of the game. David Murphy has taken over in left field for Jim Adducci, who you saw as he struck out. Adducci flexing that right elbow, right arm of his after the strikeout. So David Murphy takes over in left field, and he will bat in the number 8 slot. Clint Barmas, the number 9 man, shortstop, leading off for the Pirates. 0-1 the count as Darvish comes back to him. Little looper, Elvis Andrus backpedaling and makes the catch. Darvish just reaching out one-handed. A little limp line drive that Elvis handles for out number 1.
Yeah, used Stone 57 pitches to get 1 out in the 6th inning. Last start he threw 105 innings. He is very economical today, throwing a lot of strikes. Twice as many strikes as balls.
Go back to the top of the Pirates order now. The 3rd time Jose Tabata will step in against Darvish. Tabata tonight has struck out and flied to center field. Shows bunt. That brought Adrian Beltre racing down the line from 3rd. Inning by inning. Look at that. 14 the top mark, and he's had 2 of the 5 innings previously in single digits. High chopper right at the bag. Beltre can't get rid of it. Never had the handle on it, trying to unload in a hurry, and Tabata streaking down that line has an infield single.
Would have been a close play, but if he did get a handle on it, play that Adrian would have made. It seemed like that ball was up in the air forever. Didn't get a grip on it, chose not to throw it.
So 1 on and 1 out. Neil Walker 0 for 2, a fly ball and a ground out. See if Clint Hurdle tries to inject any life into his offense. Walker takes a ball low. 257 the average for the switch hitting second baseman. Tabata with pretty good speed at first. He's on the move. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second, they got him. The hit and run was on, and he tried to have a breaking ball on a hit and run count. Had no chance to make contact, and Tabata easy pickings for Giovanni Soto.
They didn't have a real big lead. Counting on the hitter to make some contact. And even though it wasn't a great pitch to catch and throw, Soto got it there in plenty of time to get that out at second base. Good throw by Giovanni.
Well, and Ranger catchers have really been doing the job. They're throwing out better than 26% of the opposition. That's 3rd best in the league.
Yeah, AJ had a great throw the other day. Got the fact he threw out Mike Trout in Anaheim.
That's right.
Trout's only been thrown out 4 or 5 times this year. That's one of them.
2-1 pitch is tap foul. The count evens to Neil Walker. And Neil Walker, I can't imagine anything more frustrating than having the hit and run on, and all of a sudden you get that breaking ball coming down at your shoe tops, trying to do something with it.
Well, you just hope you can kick it and foul it off. You know you're not going to put it in play. You just hope you get lucky.
Darvish, next pitch. Call strike 3. He tied him up like a hostage, and Darvish, with his 5th strikeout of the night, and the side retired. No runs a hit, nobody left. After 5 1/2, we are still scoreless. by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $1,400 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Tommy Braswell from Mesquite. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Tommy Braswell from Mesquite will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Leonis Martin to start things off. It'll be Martin, Kinsler, and Andrews. The first three to do the swinging against Gerrit Cole. And Cole and Darvish really putting on a display of pitching here tonight. It's been a sum total of 5 hits for both ball clubs through the first 5.5 innings.
And the hits haven't been hit very hard either.
No.
There haven't been many balls hit on the good part of the bat tonight.
Martin, a strikeout his first time to the plate. 267 the average for the center fielder for the Rangers. The pitch inside, 2-0. The longest outing at the big league level that Cole has had this year, 7 1/3. That was 2 starts ago against Milwaukee. And oddly enough, he lost that game as the Pirates were shut out. Not time called as Leonis a little tired of waiting. Cole to the wind, the 2-1 pitch. Now 2-2. Next offering in the dirt. Nice job by Leonis Martin to lay off that. So the count has gone full. One of the first full counts that Cole has had tonight.
Well, Cole's had 1 game in the big leagues where he struck out 8, another where he struck out 6. In the minor leagues this year, the most he struck out was 5.
3-2, and that's chopped wide of the bag at first. And we'll come back and try it again.
That's 7 already tonight, including the last 3 in a row in the 5th inning.
That's what I mean. Looking at his minor league strikeout totals, you would imagine the guy would have this kind of stuff if you had not seen him before.
No, definitely not.
This looks like a guy that's going to punch out 10 or 12 at a moment's notice.
Well, he hasn't done it, but he looks like it tonight, that's for sure.
And another rocket foul. Well, Leonis getting closer. Getting a couple of balls on the screws pretty well. And he is at least making Gerrit Cole work for the first time in this ballgame. Ian Kinsler in the on-deck circle to be next. Cole studied the signs, and again, a 3-2. Foul tip. And he came in at 98 that time, and Leonis just able to get a piece of it. See the spread chart. A lot of pitches in, and you see a lot more teams now trying to bust Leonis Martin in. Both he and Profar. Another 3-2. And another foul ball. Yeah, he got it. Thought I heard it tick into the dirt. It did not. And Cole wins that. He has now struck out 4 straight, 8 tonight.
I'm not sure what that was. It looked like a changeup. The way it went down, it was 90 miles an hour. But I guess if you're throwing 98 miles an hour, 90 could qualify as your changeup. Yeah.
Ian Kinsler 0 for 2. He has struck out and flied out. And takes the breaking ball a bit wide. It's 1-0. Ian, 11 home runs, 58 driven in. A ball and a strike. Kinsler, a modest 3-game hitting streak coming into play here tonight. And he takes strike 2 at the knees. Ian not real thrilled with that call by Mike Malinsky, but facing a guy like Gerrit Cole, I think it would test your patience anyway. You see two pretty good pitches, and numbers 2 and 3. The 1-2 offering, and that is chop foul. We will try it again. For Kinsler, you go back over the last 23 games or so, back to early part of August. He's hit .298, so just under the 300 mark. Staying alive is Gerrit Cole, throwing all kinds of different breaking balls, different speeds to Kinsler. Ian back in. Cole, hand and glove in front of his face, studying the signs. And he goes to the wind. Tapper right back to him. That's out number 2.
Well, this kind of qualifies as a dominating performance so far for 2-5 and 2/3.
Sure does.
He is in complete charge of this game.
Well, here comes Elvis, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. Yeah, going back through the at-bats, there haven't been, like you said, Tom, many balls hit on the nose tonight.
Beltre hit a hard shot to third base. Mitch hit one pretty good to the warning track in center field, although I don't think he got all of it, but he hit it pretty well. Other than that, I'm having a hard time finding one. AJ hit the ball hard, his base hit. We're throwing out trying to stretch it into a double, but that ball was hit well into right center field.
0-1 pitch. Elvis a rip and miss. Just got word from the Rangers clubhouse on Jim Adducci. He suffered a right bicep strain, and he's listed right now as day-to-day. Oh, 0-2 the count. Elvis trying to get aboard with 2 outs. Rangers haven't had a base runner since the 4th inning. And that pitch hangs inside. It's 1-2. Elvis hitting at .267 as he faces Cole here in the 6th inning. Now 2-2. Cole to the wind, back to the plate. Inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Go from 0-2 to 3-2, and Elvis trying to get aboard. If he can get aboard with his speed and potentially swipe a bag, Alex Rios would have a runner in scoring position to work with here in the 6th inning. Rangers have only gotten 1 runner into scoring position. That was back in the 2nd. And a chopper foul at the plate. We'll come back and try it again. Elvis trying to shake off the effects of that chopped foul ball that came up and hit him. 3-2 with 2 out. The payoff pitch. We'll try it again.
Yeah, that was some type of a changeup at 89 miles an hour.
Cole, for the first time tonight in the inning, has been forced to work. You can see the pattern that he set to Elvis. A lot of pitches off the plate inside. This will be a 23rd pitch of the inning. And he lost him, ball 4. Well, Cole won the first prolonged at-bat in this inning, that against Leonis Martin, but Elvis prevails in this one. And with his speed, we'll see if he decides to take off. And one thing about it, Russell Martin, the catcher, has really had a good year throwing. He is leading the National League in throwing out opposition base runners with 28. But Elvis at first after that first walk issued by Cole. Here is Alex Rios. And Cole not showing a very quick move to first. 28 base runners caught by Russell Martin this year. Elvis has already tied his career high with 37 steals. He's not going anywhere, and Cole throws a strike to the outside corner.
Maintaining his velocity, that's for sure. He's still throwing 97 and 98 miles an hour. You don't see many starters throwing that hard.
Rios 1 for 2, trying to allow Elvis to get in scoring position. There's another toss over there. And a big guy. We mentioned Gerrit Cole at 6'4", about 240 pounds. And doesn't have real quick feet, so that's a benefit for Elvis trying to get a lead. You know that a big pitcher like that can't turn and make a snap throw to get you. Breaking ball is wide, 1 ball and 1 strike to Rios. Rookie starters, pitchers per inning. Gerrit Cole right there at the top of them, followed by Martin Perez, Rangers starter tomorrow night. Both of them under 15 pitches per inning, and that really is the demarcation line for you. There goes Elvis. The pitch is outside. The throw to second is not in time. Elvis able to steal it. The throw was just on the shortstop side of the bag, and Walker tried a swipe tag but not able to get it. And Elvis Andrus has set a new career high for himself with his 38th stolen base.
Yeah, the good part about it is, Buzz, he's stolen 38. He's only been thrown out 6 times. He's been very effective as a base stealer, quantity and quality.
A good tight shot there, and you get an idea of how quickly things happen right around that bag at second. 2-1 now, the count to Rios. And the pitch is high and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Well, maybe a little hiccup here for Gerrit Cole. Up to the 80 pitch mark, which is approaching the maximum that he has thrown this year. At the big league level, he's only gone over 100 one time. He misses rolling away, and back-to-back walks. And that'll bring up Adrian Beltre.
We talked about him earlier, too. Only 19 walks in 91 innings coming into the game. Hadn't walked anybody with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And he's got a couple.
Ray Searage, the pitching coach, is going to go out and have a talk with his 23-year-old right-hander. Well, folks, the Sports and Highlight Show you've been waiting for is here. Jay Onright, Dan O'Toole, anchor Fox Sports Live. Joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson. They'll bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. Well, the conversation has been concluded. Back-to-back 2-out walks. Elvis Andrus with not only his 38th stolen base, but his 161st career stolen base. That's second to Ian Kinsler in Ranger annals. He's going to third. The throw to third, and they know they couldn't get the tag down. It's a double steal with Elvis and Rios.
He put the tag down in time, but he tagged the base. I don't think he tagged out in front of the base. It looked like the throw got there in time. I don't think he ever tagged in front of the base where he could have gotten Elvis's hands. Let's see.
Oh, he was in front of the bag. Yeah, he was
slaps the tag down, but didn't quite get it out there.
Caught that ball out in front of the bag, down toward home plate a little bit. 0-1 to Beltre. Chopper out toward short. And that will do it. So the Rangers create some excitement, a couple of walks and 3 stolen bases, but they strand 2. We're going to the 7th. It's still the Rangers nothing and the Pirates nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. walk, 5 strikeouts, no runner past first base against Darvish. And meanwhile, Elvis Andrus with 2 stolen bases tonight. A new career high for the Rangers shortstop in swipes with 39. And we still have the rest of this game and 19 more to go this year. But it is scoreless. And for the Pirates here in the 7th inning, it'll be Andrew McCutchen, Justin Morneau, and Marlon Byrd to face Yu Darvish. McCutchen 1 for 2. And he hammers at that first pitch and doesn't connect with it. It's 0-1. McCutchen had the first base hit of the game tonight in the first inning single with 2 outs. Last time up, a fly ball to right field.
First pitch he hadn't swung at.
0-2. Probably mad at himself for not swinging.
Yeah, it was a strike.
Yeah, lost my aggressiveness.
Had a little movement on it, though.
Yeah, it did. I think that might have been that splitter.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Darvish ready. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Got him swinging. Darvish with strikeout number 6. And he has had 2 in a row now as he finished off the 6th with a punch out. Starts the 7th, getting Andrew McCutchen.
This was 89 miles an hour for a called strike. And a very similar pitch for a swing and a miss. Almost the exact same pitch.
1 away for Morneau. Pirate first baseman.
Ouch.
It's really fisted here. It's a good thing it's a warm night. That won't hurt quite as badly. Kinsler takes care of the ground ball. 2 gone. If he'd done that in Minnesota in April, he'd be picking up fingers on the way back to the dugout.
He's definitely got him off balance tonight.
That would be the definition of a cut fastball getting in a hitter's kitchen. Oh, 2 gone. Now Marlon Byrd. Byrd, a ground ball to third in the 2nd inning. Last time up, he was hit by a breaking ball. Got to first, but then was erased on a double play. 1 ball, no strikes.
And Yu, well into the 7th inning, hasn't thrown 70 pitches yet.
Byrd waiting as Darvish sets. Rip and a miss. Off-speed pitch. 1-1. Ranger fans will remember Marlon Byrd. 3 seasons here with the Rangers, 2007, 8, and 9. In this ballpark, Byrd, some of his greatest achievements, 305 here with 25 home runs. All the Rangers in those 3 years. 1-1 pitch. Now 2-1.
Probably his best year to date. Looks like this year is going to beat it, but in 09 he had 20 home runs, knocked in 89 runs for the Rangers. I don't even remember him knocking in 89 runs. That's a big year. He's got a chance to do that again. He's got the most home runs he's ever had, 22 so far.
Line drive by Beltre, and that's headed toward the corner. Byrd turning the speed on as he goes around first. He will cruise into second. A 2-out double has him in scoring position. First time tonight that the Pirates have had a runner at second base. Byrd with his 32nd double.
That's one thing that can happen if you're guarding the line. If a ball is hit that hard to your left, it can still get down the line. You may be guarding the line so you can't give up a double, but when it's hit this hard, it can still go down the line. Adrian guarding the line. That ball's hit past him on the left side. You're playing the line so you don't give up a double, but that one still gets by David Murphy in left field and was a double.
A Byrd at second. Pedro Alvarez has struck out, grounded into a double play. That first ball swinging, he shoots one foul down the first base side. 0-1 the count.
Now, this is a game where Yu is throwing pretty well with pretty good command, and this is a hitter that if he makes good pitches to, he should be able to get out. Now, he's also a hitter that leads the league in home runs, so if you make a mistake, then it could be 2-0.
And with first base open, you don't have to try and throw strikes to him necessarily.
No.
You know, you can be around the edges, around the periphery, and really focus on that and not worry about it if you do walk him. Bird gets his lead from second as Darvish sets. And that pitch just a little bit low. Nice attempt by Darvish there. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, if it was low, it wasn't low. It wasn't low by much.
Since 1974, Yu Darvish, the second lowest with runners in scoring position. The opposition hitting 133.
Well, that's Yu's strikeout pitch to the lefty a lot of times is the hard breaking ball down and in. And based on a short sample tonight, it would seem that Alvarez is somewhat susceptible to that breaking ball down and in.
Just make sure you get it down there.
Yep. Don't throw it for a strike. Throw it for a ball and he'll see if he can swing at it.
And Darvish, a little inside move, but Marlon Byrd not going anywhere. Byrd with a 2-out double at second base. Darvish trying to work around that Byrd double. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alvarez. He got it down there. The pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Giovanni Soto. And the count is 2-2.
Yep, that was a good try. Unhittable, but he's laid off it.
Darvish with a new baseball. He's finished rubbing it up. Put back in front of the pitching rubber. Now peering in for the sign. Says okay. Tried that harder variety of breaking ball and got a foul tip. You don't want to get it up there though. That was up a little bit higher than Darvish wanted it. What Giovanni Soto is coming up with. You see at number 5, that right in the middle of the strike zone and up above knee high. Another 2-2. Base hit to left center field. That is going to score Byrd. Around third, he will come in. Alvarez to second with the RBI double. And the Pirates take a 1-0 lead, as Darvish came back with 2 pitches right in the middle of the strike zone, and Alvarez put the second one in play for the RBI.
I think if he kept trying the breaking ball down and in, eventually he was going to swing at it. He took the 1-2 pitch to go to 2-2. And this pitch looked like a fastball, or maybe it was the same pitch that McCutchen missed. Might have been a splitter. But I got a little bit too close to the middle of the plate. Didn't get it where he wanted it to.
Well, Mike Maddox out to have a brief chat with Yu Darvish. 1-0 Pirates. So they capitalize on back-to-back 2-out doubles here in the 7th inning. And Russell Martin will step in with Alvarez, the runner, at second. Martin, a strikeout and a walk tonight. Breaking ball, 0-1. Russell Martin with the Dodgers, with the Yankees. The everyday catcher. He's been around and does a great job of handling the game. Ground ball wide at third. Beltre cuts it off. Fire on to first, and Moreland just did get back to the bag to get his foot on it. Nice play by Mitch Moreland. Some fancy footwork to prevent any further damage. But the Pirates get on top of the run on 2 hits. They leave one. Stretch time at the ballpark. 1-0 Pittsburgh. A great pitcher's duel tonight. Alex Rios, A.J. Brzezinski, and Giovanni Soto with singles in the game. And David Murphy is yet to bat. He replaced Jim Adduci in the 6th inning after Adduci strained his right bicep swinging. That's been about it. Gerrit Cole has done a fantastic job tonight. Through 6 innings, he has been as tough as nails. No runs allowed and just 3 hits. A couple of walks, his only black mark on his ledger last inning, but he was able to work around that. Now he will go to work here in the 7th now with a 1-0 lead. The A.J. Brzezinski, Mitch Moreland, and Giovanni Soto. Tony Watson, the left-hander, up and loosening in the Pirates bullpen. Brzezinski a single and was thrown out at second, trying to stretch it into a double. That ended things in the 4th. A.J. 1 for 2. That batting average at .281 as he leads off the Rangers 7th. Rip and a miss. 0-1 the count. Cole back to the plate. And Brzezinski lost a fly ball to left center field. Moving to his left in a few steps, Jose Tabata, and he puts it away. Brzezinski retired, and Mitch Moreland now will come up. And before Mitch steps in, let's take time for a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. All right, Dana, thank you. Mitch Moreland, 0 for 2, a fly ball and a strikeout. And a rip and a miss. It's 0-1. Rangers no runs on 3 hits. They have not had a hit now from the last 10 hitters. That's low and inside. A.J. Brzezinski had that last base hit to end the 4th inning. He's thrown out, stretching it for 2. Couple of walks in the 6th. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Moreland.
87 pitches, 61 strikes for Gerrit Cole. Walked back-to-back guys in the 6th inning. The Rangers couldn't capitalize. Double steal, put men on 2nd and 3rd. They couldn't get one in. That's the difference. Pittsburgh capitalized. They got a man to 2nd, got him in.
2-2 to Moreland. Cole winds and deals. And that pitch in the dirt. Now the count has gone full now, and Mitch trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the 7th. Giovanni Soto waits in the on-deck circle. Right about Gerrit Cole and his pitch count. You see it's 90 now. One time this year at the big league level, he threw 100 pitches. That was 102. First outing in August. He has been averaging 92, 94, somewhere in that vicinity most of his starts. Payoff pitch to Moreland. Call strike 3. A fastball came back to the inside corner, and Mitch caught looking. That is strikeout number 9 for Gerrit Cole.
That's his highest strikeout total of the year, big leagues or minor league. And that little bit of movement right at the end brought it back into the strike zone. Very impressive fastball from this kid. Very impressive repertoire of pitches and command of all of them.
Here's Soto, who is 1 for 2, and first ball swinging, hits a 2-hopper, picked off by Alvarez, and that'll do it. So Cole comes back after a couple of walks in the 6th, has a 1-2-3-7. We're going to the 8th inning. The Pirates 1, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
This is Tack. He's a longtime season ticket holder for the Rangers. Big Yu Darvish fan. We always see the Yu Darvish head in the stands over in this area. But you have some special guests?
Very special. My grandmother, my mom, my dad left Japan 21 hours ago, and after about a 14-hour flight and a couple layovers, they came straight to here. They landed this afternoon, straight to the ballpark.
There we go. Well, how old is Grandma?
Grandma's 88 years old.
88, and she's out here rooting on Yu Darvish. Congratulations, Grandma. Progressive fan of the game. Anything you like to say?
Thank you, sir. Gambarutte.
There we go. It sounded good. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Good to have you out here. Go Rangers, yes. Buzz.
All right, Jim, thank you. Well, we don't know what happened exactly. Tanner Scheppers was not throwing at all last inning, and he did not get up and start throwing until midway through the break between innings. Now he's come on, and hopefully everything's okay with Yu Darvish. Well, Yu Darvish finished for the night after 7 innings of work. 4 hits and a run on Darvish's ledger, and Tanner Scheppers will take over.
It's a solid outing for Yu Darvish. He gave up a run. The Rangers just had not been able to score much for Darvish. Got 2 runs of support coming into the game in his last 5 starts. He's averaging just a little more than 3 runs per 9 innings in his last 19 games now. So he may not have had his best stuff tonight, but it was solid stuff. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He only gave up the 1 run on 4 hits. Solid effort. Unfortunately, Gerrit Cole has shut the Rangers down completely. They haven't been able to score against him.
Well, this must be an injury situation. Ron Washington came out and talked to the umpires, both Mike Malinsky and the first base umpire, Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, between innings. And Scheppers had more than 8 pitches between innings to work with. So
the other thing, Buzz, it took them a long. There was no one on the mound for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Right.
So they must have been waiting to see if Darvish was going to be able to come back before Tanner came from the bullpen.
So Tanner Scheppers will take on Garrett Jones, Clint Barmas, and Jose Tabata here in the 8th inning. 1-0 Pirate lead. As soon as we get word on Yu Darvish situation, we will pass it along. Garrett Jones tonight is lined to center, grounded to second. A rip and a miss at some high gas from Tanner Scheppers. He comes in throwing 98. Just had to be what he had in his pocket at that time. 0-1 pitch. Now stepped it up to 99.
I don't think he's had 100 yet, has he?
Not
or
that
has
I
he?
can
Or has
remember.
he?
I don't think he has. Boy, he's going right now. He may the night. He may have brought that with him tonight. 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Jones back in waiting as Scheppers goes into the wind. And he's popped up. Shallow left field. Adrian Beltre, and right in front of Elvis Andrus, puts it away. It's a good thing those guys don't have any fun playing the game.
Elvis gets a little bit into his space right here, though. A little bit too close, to be honest with you.
A looping drive off the bat of Clint Barmas settles into right center field for a base hit. Well, pop up now, a soft single, 1 on and 1 out, back to the top of the order for Jose Tabata. Well, Barmas 1 for 3 tonight. Tabata had an infield single in the 6th inning. He is 1 for 3 as he steps in. Rangers have turned 1 double play tonight. Shepard's first pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Tabata checking with the third base coach, Nick Leyva. Barmas, a pretty good lead at first. And the next Shepard's offering is low and inside. It's 2-0. Pirates now with 5 hits to go along with their 1 run. Neither team has committed an error tonight. Shepard's at high set. And fires a belt high strike. Tabata with an infield single now has extended his hitting streak to 4 games. Chopper near the bag at third. It's just into foul territory, and we'll come back and try it again. Tabata hitting a leadoff spot now for the 18th time this year. He has done a good job up there. He's hitting at 286 as a leadoff hitter. He has scored 8 runs in the previous 17 games. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Shepard gets ready. Could be 2 right at the bag. Elvis on to first. A 6-3 double play. Second turn tonight by the Rangers. Well, that erases the 1-out single. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Pirates 1, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
Much anticipated results of our Twitter poll question. I predicted it would be a landslide in favor of Jim Knox. The question was, who would you like to most spend the day with at a Ranger game? I don't even believe the results. I think someone's just trying to be nice as they welcome me back from maternity leave. 83% of the vote said they would like to spend it right here in the dugout with me. I think it has way less to do with me and way more with the fact that the players are just a stone's throw from me. However, I'm humbled and honored to receive such a distinguished message of strange Twitter love from everyone out there. Buzz.
And that wasn't even your good aw shucks moment.
I think what it shows them is that men vote and women don't.
Tony Watson has taken over on the hill.
Wouldn't matter for you and me.
No.
pets could vote, they wouldn't want to come up here.
That's very true. Oh, we got some pretty good treats from time to time.
Yeah, but they don't. They send them. They don't come up here.
The numbers for Tony Watson, his 60th appearance of the year, the 28-year-old left-hander. He deals inside to the pinch hitter, Craig Gentry. But Gentry batting for Murphy to start off this 8th inning. Rangers trailing 1-0. Gentry hitting at .254. The numbers there, a couple of home runs, 18 driven in. And he takes high. It's 2-1.
It's like the Pittsburgh version of Sean Doolittle right here. Mid-90s to upper 90s fastball. Felix PA in left field. Of course, we don't see the National League, so we don't know much about Tony Watson, but it doesn't take but 2 or 3 pitches to see that he can air it out.
Next pitch. And Gentry shoots it foul the other way. 2-2. Your Ford leaderboard will bring up some National League numbers for you. The bullpen ERA over the senior circuit. The Pirates are second to the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves are ridiculous with that pitching. And it shows in their win-loss records. But Pirates at 286. That is outstanding. And yet that's a half run higher than the Braves. That's nuts. And Gentry protecting the plate, fouls it straight back. Watson is in his 3rd year with the Pirates at the big league level. He originally was their 9th round pick in the 2007 draft. Came up 2011 for 43 games and had 68 games last year. 2 hopper to Alvarez at 3rd. And Gentry is out number 1 in the 8th inning. Next will be Leonys Martin. The Bucs, when you purchase your tickets on TexasRangers.com/specials and you use the coupon code OZARKA, you'll save 50% in select seating areas for Tuesday home games. Take advantage of the great offer tomorrow when the Rangers continue this series against the Pirates. Leonys Martin showing bunt, and the appeal as to whether he bunted through it or not, taken care of by Paul Schreiber, the third base umpire, said no, he did not. It is 1 ball and no strikes. Martin, a couple of strikeouts tonight. Looks at a knee-high fastball. It's 1-1. Gerrit Cole, the first 7 innings, shutout baseball. 3 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. And those 9 punch-outs, the most the young man has had as a major leaguer. Chopper foul outside third between Gary Pettis and the third baseline. It moves the count to 1-2. Watson peering in for the sign. The left-hander's ready. And Martin reaches for one. It's a soft fly ball to right field. Marlon Byrd out there makes the play. And there are 2 outs here in the Ranger 8th, and back to the top of the order for Ian Kinsler. Kinsler 0 for 3 against Gerrit Cole. Fly out, a strikeout, and a tapper back to the box. Watson sets, and the first pitch to Kinsler. 1 ball, no strikes. Ian, a .271 hitter as he faces Watson, trying to get aboard a 1-0 game. Ian, of course, with very good speed. If Rangers can get him on, there's a changeup that floats to the outside corner. It is 1-1. And action in the Ranger bullpen. Neil Kotz, the left-hander, of course, and Joe Nathan. 2 balls and a strike. Watson back to the plate on 2-1.
He got a great fastball. He didn't look like he was trying to get out in front of one there. Trying to tie this game up. Rallies have been hard to come by. Might take the long ball.
Well, Rangers have been held to just 3 hits in the last one back in the 4th inning. Now the 2-2. That runs the count full. Brian Morris, the right-hander, is loosened and ready if needed in that bullpen. And you have a right-handed hitter on deck. Elvis Andrews swinging that bat if Kinsler can extend the inning. Payoff pitch on the way. Line drive center field. In a hurry, McCutchen. The ball hangs up for him. And Andrew McCutchen makes the grab. So Kinsler hit it on the nose, but has nothing to show for it. Rangers out in order. We're going to the 9th in Arlington. It's the Pirates 1, the Rangers nothing.
Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Dana Larson here reminding you we've got Rangers Eye presented by Esurance coming up right after the game. We'll have much more on that reason behind Yu Darvish's exit in this game. We have just learned, by the way, that he felt cramps in his leg, in his right leg, in fact, in the 7th inning, and is currently in the clubhouse undergoing treatment. They do not believe it is serious, which is good news and should not affect his next start. So we will hear from him on that after the game. Ron Washington as well. That's all coming up on Rangers Eye presented by Esurance. Buzz and Tom, back to you guys.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, Neil Kotz in the ballgame now to take over. Kotz will work here in the 9th inning to Neil Walker, Andrew McCutchen, and Justin Morneau. At least they are the scheduled hitters. And, of course, Neil Walker is switch hitter, so he turns around to bat from the right side against Neil. Kotz first pitch, a fastball right down through there. Walker 0 for 3 tonight. He has flied out, grounded out, and struck out. 0-1 pitch. Hit hard, but nice play by Moreland. Playing off the bag, and he went to his forehand side to make that play. A good positioning, good reactions. Out number 1.
Well, there's a good look of him at him playing well off the line. See a lot of first basemen doing that. Take a lot of base hits away. Might give up a double, but I guess the percentages say you'll take away more singles.
Did a good job by Neil Kotz, too, getting over there quickly to cover the bag at first. Here's McCutchen, who is 1 for 3. Takes a knee-high strike. McCutchen, a first inning single, since then has flied to right and struck out. 0-1 pitch from Kotz. That one's lined down the right side. That's going to be in for extra bases. Alex Rios has to come up to get the ball. McCutchen turning the burners on, going around second. He is in with a slide and a one-out triple. And the ball hit under the padding out there down the right field corner, and that forced Alex Rios to have to come in some 30 feet or so to get that ball. And with McCutcheon's speed, he just turned it on and was in there with 3 bases.
Well, McCutcheon was flying around the bases, but now you got to go to work here. You've got a left-hand hitter up, Morneau. Only one out, pitch out over the plate. In fact, right in the middle of the plate. McCutcheon just slices that right down into the corner. And it just kind of dies right there. Doesn't really kick back. Where Alex anticipated it, right? Look at McCutcheon flying around the bases.
Well, Mike Maddox out to confer with his battery of Giovanni Soto and Neil Kotz. Rangers will pull the infield in. You have the left-handed hitting Justin Morneau to face Kotz. Everybody in at the cut of the grass. Morneau tonight 0 for 3. A couple of groundouts and a strikeout. Takes a knee-high strike. 0-1. Morneau is 5 for 11 against Neil Kotz in his career. .455 average. Chopper slowly hit. Kinsler's coming to the plate. The tag of McCutcheon. They got it. Well, that is a do-or-die play for Kinsler. He's got to get it and get rid of it in a hurry and make an accurate throw. And he did all those things with Soto blocking the play.
Well, it was still a close play at home. McCutcheon got a good jump, and obviously he runs well. And it looked like it would be a fairly easy play. Turned into a really close play. Got the infield in. It's hit right to Ian. Gets it in quickly. And a pretty close play at the plate. But off the run, keep it a 1-0 game.
So, with Marlon Byrd coming up now and Morneau at first, Ron Washington's going to the mound. He wants the right-hander to come on in. And you get one more look at that play at the plate. So the run foiled for the moment. And Neil Kotz gone after 3 hitters. Joakim Soria will be the new pitcher. We'll take a timeout as he begins his warm-up tosses. Back after this. Have partnered to bring fans the First Pitch ticket program. Tomorrow, September the 10th, the first 150 fans who log on to TexasRangers.com/firstpitch or who come to Rangers Ballpark at 9 a.m. will have the opportunity to purchase a voucher good for 2 tickets to the game for just $10.33. To learn more about First Pitch tickets, go to TexasRangers.com/firstpitch. Here's Joaquin Soria now to face Marlon Byrd. Starling Marte, I should say, is the runner at first now, and he is a speed burner down there. Marte, 35 stolen bases. He's been caught 13 times. But the primary pinch runner used by Clint Hurdle in late game situations. Byrd is 1 for 2 tonight with a double and a run scored. Soria peering in for the signs from Soto. Joaquin set a check of first. Rip and a miss at a high breaking ball. And Byrd now with a count of 1-1. Joaquin Soria has only faced Marlon Byrd 2 times in his career. Byrd 0 for 2. And that pitch fouled away. So Soria, the advantage in the count, and a ball and 2 strikes. Soria's done a pretty good job of keeping Marte at first from getting a good jump. Crowd getting into it. They want to see Soria get the Rangers off the field and get him to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. And another toss to first. That'll drive Marte back. Soria ready once again. There goes Marte. The pitch swung on and missed. And Starling Marte wasted a good jump. Side retired, no runs, a hit, 1 left. Rangers coming to bat with Andrews, Rios, and Beltre trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Built for Tough sales event by AT&T, Uverse TV, and by Progressive. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. A 1-0 Pittsburgh lead, and AT&T would like to bring you the Uverse rewind. This was in the 6th inning. Elvis Andrus, a walk and a stolen base, followed by another walk to Alex Rios. They double steal, and then the grounder to short. And that was the end of what, to this point, has been the only Ranger threat they have been able to mount against the Pirates. And that man Elvis will lead things off against the closer du jour now, the Pittsburgh Pirates. That would be Mark Melancon.
Yeah, Melancon has pitched great. 62 innings and 0.87 earned run average. He's had 11 saves. Jason Grilli had 30 saves, made the All-Star team, but he was hurt. And Melancon took over and has been just about as good. Lowest ERA among National League relievers, 0.87.
Well, Elvis Andrus and company trying to raise that a bit. Trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the 9th. Elvis 0 for 2 with that walk. First ball swinging, a one-hopper into the glove of the third baseman Alvarez. On across the diamond to the new first baseman. That is Gabby Sanchez now. That is out number 1. And Alex Rios will be next. Rios, a hit and a walk. He is 1 for 2 officially. He has 1 stolen base. Well, Alex, 281 with the batting average. And Melancon fires a strike. It is 0-1. 16 home runs, 3 of them coming on the just completed road trip for Rios. A ball and a strike.
Melancon's only given up 1 home run. That was to Joey Votto back on April 14th.
And he misses wide. 2 balls and a strike. Rios waiting. Melancon on top of the hill. Goes to the wind, the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball out to second. Down to one knee is Walker on to first. And the Rangers now with a pair of groundouts down to their final out. And Adrian Beltre walking to the plate. Beltre 0 for 3 tonight. 2 groundouts and a fly ball to left. First pitch from Melancon is wide. It goes all the way to the backstop. 1-0 the count. Beltre 1 for 4 in his career against the right-hander Mark Melancon. That one, a home run. Chopper to the hole. That is through for a base hit. Now the Rangers have the tying run on. 2 outs. A.J. Pierzynski is coming to the plate to face Melancon.
Well, Rangers going to have a pinch runner. But Adam Rosales.
Yes, it is. Rosales, the pinch runner for Beltre at first. And the crowd getting excited because A.J. Pierzynski is stepping in. Pierzynski is 1 for 2 against Melancon. And you know about the heroics that A.J. has performed late in ball games. And it doesn't get much later than this. Broken bat, grounder up the middle. Walker on to first, and that will do it. So Melancon gives up a 9th inning single, but gets Pierzynski to ground out with the tying run aboard And the Pirates have shut out the Rangers here tonight, 1-0 the final. Well, the Pirates snapped their 4-game losing streak, and they hand the Rangers their 30th loss here at home in 69 ball games this year. Rangers now 2 games behind the Oakland Athletics. We'll come back to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Dana Larson, Mark McLemore will wrap things up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.